Hey everyone, this is DJ.
And this is Ish.
And this is
Season 7 of Pero Let Me Tell You. Way better.
Yeah,
It's a little ambient noise, shall we say. Yeah.
just hanging out with Ish.
All right, so listeners, you just heard that laugh. DJ's still in Italy, so you know we've got with us. And I swear I did not plan this for episode 305.
No.
The one, the only Lucy Lopez.
This is episode 305?
This is episode 305.
Oh
I
my
did not
gosh.
plan that. When I called you, I was like, hey, I didn't even know the number of the episode. I was like, I need you for this date, for this week's episode.
I'm honored.
Resulta, the stars align.
Oh my gosh. This is really, this is something else.
Yes.
All right, cool. 305.
I could have said it that I did it on purpose, but I'm not.
I set
pretend.
meetings on purpose at 3:05 p.m. just to see if people realize how fucking crazy I am. And I'll be like, they're like, oh, we'd like to meet with you, Zoom. I'm like, yeah, I don't do meetings on Mondays, and if it's a Friday meeting, I like to do them in person. Here we are.
Yeah.
And I'm like, always 3:05.
Okay.
Always a meeting at 3:05.
So, yes, having listeners, if you want a meeting with Lucy Lopez,
It has to be at
3:05. It has to be.
Don't ask me, because I'll be like, well, don't do meetings on Mondays, and if you want to do it in person, it has to be on a Friday.
I love it. You're like a Miami version of like Garfield. Garfield, I don't do Mondays.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
This is me.
Yeah.
This is me. Yeah. I don't like doing meetings on Mondays. I think that you get an emotional me on Monday. Are you emotional on Mondays?
I'm emotional depending on the day and the time of day.
Okay.
I'm a Leo, so I'm a mess. But it's
Okay. I'm a Sagittarius, so we're both fire signs. I get it.
Well, there we go. And this is why we get along.
Yes, but there's
Feed off each
something about Mondays. You're coming off the weekend. You just spend time possibly with people that you really like.
That's true.
And then I have to go sit with someone that it's not that I don't like you. It's just
it's business.
It's business.
Right. It's not pleasure.
I'm not juiced up enough.
Yeah.
With work vibe in me.
Mira, now that you say that, I'm thinking back to my corporate days, and yeah, like I would try to avoid Monday meetings and Friday afternoon meetings. I'll do a Friday morning.
Terrible.
When I was corporate, I'll do Friday morning. That's fine. You have until I'll give you till 1.
Really?
I'll give
You're
you
so
till
generous.
1 because I'm factoring time zones. Mm-hmm. So if you're on the West Coast, that's your 9 a.m.
Right.
At 12. So I'll give you till 1.
I'm a fan of Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday meetings.
Oh, same.
And if you want to meet with me in person, it must be on a Friday.
Okay, Friday. Well,
Has to be.
There you go. Send all in-person requests to at the Lucy Lopez on Instagram. I'm sure your DMs are going to be blowing up now. People are just being like, "Hey, can we meet at La Ventanita on a Friday?"
Listen, I am so psychotic about this that I'm invited to a networking event on a Friday, and it's not till 7:30 in the evening.
Okay.
And the fact that I'm going, my husband is like, "You're going? What? Look at you. What's happening?" I'm like, "Oh, no, I gotta go say what's. I need to know what's happening. Why I was invited to this? I love going to events with that in my head. Why was I invited to this?
Are you serious?
100%.
Because you're Lucy Lopez and you're fabulous. That's why.
No.
That's why you're
constantly
fantastic.
questioning. This is the neurotic side of me. Where I'm like, why? What is happening? The self-doubt. I don't have imposter syndrome.
Good.
And the only person who, Vanessa Garcia, an excellent playwright and author and friend of the family and the pod. I once asked her, do you have imposter syndrome? She was like, no, get the fuck out of here. And I thought that was such a great response to something that so many people kind of are okay saying. And there are moments where I'm like, do I have imposter syndrome? No, I'm just pissed. I'm just fucking mad.
You were invited to the White House. You cannot have imposter syndrome.
Oh, that was I thought it was a joke. I thought it was like the Russians or the communist regime trying to get my information. As soon as I saw the email, I sent it over to my best friend who's a hacker. She hates when I say that. But she's in computers. So I was like, hey, can you see? That's real. Immediately filled it out, sent it off, and I was in the White House. I'm still kind of can't believe it that I was at the White House.
Yeah, I think that's the one moment where imposter syndrome is okay.
Dwindles.
Right, it's okay to have that, to have that little moment of like, well, because it's...
No, but it wasn't imposter syndrome for me, Ish. It was more like, do they know what kind of Cuban American they're inviting here? Does the guy in charge understand?
How far is the reach of the Mamacita podcast? Have they heard it in its entirety?
Do they know how pissed off I am at everybody?
Maybe that's why they invited you.
Holy shit. I remember showing up and being like, is this real life? Is this happening? What the... I couldn't believe it. As a matter of fact, I called our friend Jenny Lee.
Yeah, she was there.
I literally texted her. I'm like, hey, I got a question for you. She replied with, is it the invitation to the White House? I go, yes. How the fuck do you know? She goes, it's real. Fill that out, bitch. We're going to Washington.
I love the amount of people that you called to like...
My best friend, Jenny Lee, and then... First, because working from home, I'm like constantly talking to my best friend because she also works from home. So I'm like, I just got this email, blah, blah. And then I screamed out my husband's name. I'm like, Gino!
Who's here with us today, by the way?
Yeah,
hi, Gino.
my chaperone.
I want to give you a shout out. Like we've mentioned him like 4 times and have not acknowledged his existence here.
He's here. So. He's my chaperone because I'm a feral cat.
Yeah.
And he pinches me under the table.
Okay, a feral cat, but a feral cat with fabulously manicured nails. So.
Do you like this?
I love it.
I love the yellow.
It's like a lime yellow, like a lemon.
Lime, what a great band.
Oh,
babe, we're gonna love tonight.
As we blow our own eardrums out.
Yeah. So
I actually, again, you're the Lucy Lopez, and I want to thank you.
Ish.
That's what I've been told.
You're literally the Ish.
I am the Ish sometimes, but I've done this in private, but I'm gonna go on the record and thank you for including me in the Laughs in Spanish play.
That was fun.
That was a blast.
Wasn't that a blast?
The reason I was involved in it, for those of you who made it out, is because of this fantastic woman here. She had the thought of like, hey, there's this guest role in the play. Yep. Let's use, Miami influencers, Miami personalities. I feel like personalities is a better word than influencers, right? Because it's not just people who are pretty.
Yeah. Well, first of all, you're looking stunning lately. Stunning.
Thank you. Oh.
Like the girl from... What's your drink of choice? A Negroni, Spagliato, with Prosecco in it. Woo, stunning. Anyways, ADHD.
That's why I love having you on.
So, yes, when Victoria Collado, director, Victoria Collado came to me, she was like, I want you to be part of this. I want you to help me. I want you to get the right people. She had a vision. She goes, I have like this thing where there's a DJ. I'm incorporating music. I'm incorporating a DJ, but I thought it'd be fun to have like guest DJs. And I go, yes, let's go after our favorite Miami-based influencers. She was like, yes, perfect. And then I was tasked with the job with casting, the role, who's going to be in it. But we had to get a list of people. Like, this is who I want to do. This is, and the top 5 people all said yes. And then the ones that I had, like, just in case you couldn't make it or something, God forbid, will come up, I had people, like, waiting in the wings.
Oh my God, I had an understudy. I love it.
You did have an understudy. Yours was Marvin, Mr. Miami Marvin. Oh. I was like, if Ish can't make it, Marvin said he'll do it. So it was fun. It was fun being able to do that. And then originally the plan was, because it's about an art gallery in Miami during, in Wynwood during Art Basel. Originally the thought was every week feature a different artist on stage, right? A different, a painter, artista from Wynwood. And then I was like,
that's a lot of work.
A lot of work. Well, I was going to take, that was going to be my thing. I was going to hang my hat on that.
But that's a lot of people to have to try to...
The first artist we went to and we had a conversation with, she was like, but this story is about me. And it was Dee Dee. She was like, there's so much about this that I relate to. Because it is a relationship between her and the artist the gallery artist and her mother, and then Marcella Paguagua, who plays Caro.
She's fucking hilarious.
She's fucking hysterical, and that she was amazing.
The fact that she sprained her ankle during rehearsal and did the entire show in a combination of like wheelchair and crutches.
She was amazing.
I mean, you want to talk about break a leg, the show must go on.
She really killed it. And can I just say, like, that was her first time. It was her dream to be on that stage, and for it to come to fruition under the cast that it was, and Barry Newport and Victoria Collado and the written by Alexis Shear. Also, it was so 305.
It was
that I'm so proud of like the work that was on that stage.
Well, you should be, because it was fucking phenomenal. It was a blast.
Dee Rock, Diana Contreras just basically saying like, I want to do the whole thing. And then when they kind of had that big conversation, she was like, I'm painting the whole facade. Okay. And she painted the entire facade of the theater at Gable Stage, and it was just like, it just blew our minds away. It was absolutely stunning to look at.
It was stunning.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
It looked like an art gallery.
I will say, so my viewpoint was a little, like, I couldn't take it all in the same way, because being from the back, the DJ behind the wall and all that.
Right.
But the vibe, I will say, backstage.
Oh, electric.
It was exactly what I thought it would be. Right? Like, you watch all these shows and these movies and Noises Off and Smash and all that. And it was that, right? Yeah. And they all liked each other. They were, and my favorite, I say this in the way that I just, again, like, oh shit, this really happens in real life, where like you're in the dressing room and everybody's just like, well, time for costume change, clothes flying everywhere, and nobody cares.
Nobody gave a shit.
Right. It's
so
like,
many
oh
boobs.
Shit, it's real. Like, it's like, yeah, there was like 4 sets.
Yeah. I know, you're like, okay,
5 when I was there. But
and it was cool. It was cool to be part of that, right?
Yeah.
Did you have
the stage managers were absolutely lovely.
Amazing. And I don't know, it just felt really right to be part of that project, and it felt, I mean, anything that Vicky and Vanessa are doing, I selfishly want to be part of.
Same.
Some stuff obviously I can't be part of, but
if you want, we can work together to just kind of kidnap them whenever something happens until they agree to have us play.
I love Vicky.
Let us play with them.
I love Vicky so much. I love Vanessa so much. And a lot of people don't know this, but Victoria went through some really personal stuff during that, and the fact that she was literally that Phoenix in Harry Potter. She came out and she did her thing as a director,
and she was even at the sandwich grand opening with her father,
with her dad,
and I was like, oh, okay, like,
yeah, and now she's on a much needed break.
Yes,
she was like, I'm on vacation 2 weeks. Leave me alone.
Listen, dealing with actors that long is no easy feat.
I don't know about actors, but just the whole thing, everything that happened during the production of that play was fucking crazy. And
that could have been its own play.
But the team just pulled together, and that really shows what a great art director Barry Newport is, and her team, and how beautiful they are, and how warm, and they're just great people. I'm really lucky that I got to do that. That was fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, no, and I'm lucky that I was able to do it as well. And so basically,
you rocked it.
Any time you have the need of somebody to come and play, please, by all means.
I told everybody, if I call you, pick up that phone. Martha Miami said it. She was like, damn, Lucy, you were right. You said it. She put it in her caption. She's like, Lucy's not fucking around, man. She calls you, fucking pick up.
You picked up. Who would not pick up the phone from Lucy Lopez?
You'd be very surprised.
Well, we hate them.
I got some people who didn't even reply back. I was like,
well,
oh shit.
Those are the people who we don't like, because they're clearly anti-arts and are probably okay with the budget being slashed.
No, I don't think it's that at all. I think that people.
Okay, I don't know who these people are, so I'm just saying this as like a blanket.
I'm just saying, I think that people have shit going on, man. The world right now is upside down y en candela, literally.
Yeah, I know. Well, we're on candela too in fucking Miami with the heat going on.
There's a heat warning today. I'm like, when is there not? I've never received so many heat warnings in my life.
Thank you. I was like,
I've been getting
heat warnings, I think, for the last month and a half. Since what, May?
Yes.
April, maybe? Yeah.
Yes. And last night había tremendo palo de agua que cayó in my neighborhood.
Which, I welcome just because it's not hot, but then the humidity and the mugginess afterwards, no hay quien lo resista.
By the way, those who don't speak Spanish, palo de agua literally translates to stick of water.
Yeah. It's a very painful storm.
Yeah.
It's just a stick of water. Yeah.
Palo. Yeah, I guess it literally translates to you're going to get beat up by this stick, right?
I guess.
Un palo, un palazo. Like,
well, yeah, te está dando un palazo. Yeah.
Un palo de agua.
Yeah, un palo de agua. Yeah.
Okay.
A beating of rain.
A beating of rain.
Yes.
That's what we got last night here.
That sounds more like a Lana Del Rey song than a phrase. Yeah.
Beating
of rain. And then she talks about how sad she is. So I mentioned earlier, just brief, again, you're involved in the arts. Mm-hmm. I'm involved in the arts. Currently, Florida had a huge blow to its arts community.
Right.
The budget was slashed. I think DeSantis vetoed $32 million
mm-hmm.
in grant funding that was supposed to go to over about 600 arts and cultural organizations, 130 of which are in Dade County alone. Miami-Dade County, sorry. I'm 45, guys. I still call it Dade County sometimes. Look, I'm not surprised, and I'm not trying to get political here, but...
But do you know why this is all based on some fringe sex party thing.
Okay, so yes, but no.
Okay, go.
So yes. So I was going to get to that. So I'm like, again, I'm not trying to get political here, but this doesn't surprise me because this is a governor who has demonstrated that he has no time for anything pretty.
Mm-hmm. Oh man, damn.
But
I don't want to get political here, but
no, I'm just getting petty. But the book fair was supposed to get $55,000.
Right.
A local Jewish community center was supposed to get $70,000. There was a youth dance group that was supposed to get another $70,000. So I mean, It was it's not huge, but obviously when you add it up, it's millions. Now, what you were saying is his whole thing, he came out, because again, politics now isn't about the whole truth. It's about buzzwords.
Partial.
It's about, partial truth, so nobody says you're lying, but you don't have to actually give context.
Right.
So he came out and said, it's because we're funding these, sex party things in Orlando and Tampa.
Sex parties in Tampa.
Who even
goes to Tampa?
Especially not for a sex party.
I love Tampa, you guys, yay.
Yeah, but I'm not going there for a sex party.
No.
Here's the thing. The Fringe Festival, that is a national theater thing that happens in every major city. What it is local productions, local playwrights get together and present new productions.
Sure.
Very bare bones. Right. So this is not it's not like some orgy thing that just happens. This is a national thing that happens. And when I was in LA a couple weeks ago, they were advertising their Fringe Festival. New York does a Fringe Festival. It's national. He
made it sound as if there's a parking lot of guys just blowing each other.
Right. Right. And everybody knows that's actually SCORE. And they get no funding. But what happened was that in Orlando, there was one of the plays was like a sex comedy.
Right.
So again, is he wrong in saying that it was a sexual story? Blah, blah,
yeah.
No.
No, but give all the facts.
But that would be like saying, Some Like It Hot is about trans people, right? No, it's about two gangsters on the run dressing up as women, right?
Right.
On the face of it, it's like, well, yes, this is what it is, but it's but if you actually turn to page 2, you'll see it's not. So I obviously have my feelings about it because I think just the arts are so vital and so important.
Absolutely.
And so I wanted to bring it up because I know you feel the exact same way.
Yeah.
And as somebody who is so involved in the arts, I mean, what are your thoughts? Because there are analysts who've even said this cut, and I understand, look, budget, I'm fiscally, the guy who's let's look where we can save money. Talk to DJ about how I run Pim Pam Pollo's financials. I'm always can we get away with using off-green onions as opposed to green?
Oh my gosh, watch The Bear.
I do, and I get palpitations sometimes.
There's a whole episode of, you haven't?
No.
But this won't spoil it.
Okay.
There's a moment where the guy who owns the restaurant, the older, I forget his name, he's like, do we really need what is it?
Microgreens.
Do we really need microgreens? And why do they cost $11,000? And Bear is like, Yeah, they're the best microgreens there are.
I would have a conniption if Darian tried to pull that on me. I don't care if it's $11. Like, I'd be like, no, we're going to Sedano's and we're getting them for $1.25. Like, and you're gonna deal with it.
No, we're going to Aldi.
And Aldi, that's what I'm saying. What do you think? That's where I get some of our ingredients.
Abuela's backyard.
Abuela's backyard.
If I had a yard, I would try to grow as much as I could. Actually, yeah. But what I was saying is some analysts have, again. So I'm pro trying to rein in a budget, right? Like, I don't think that's a bad thing.
Who isn't? Yeah.
But analysts have said that doing this is going to cost the state upwards of I don't know how many billions in potential revenue that comes from the arts.
Of course.
So you're cutting off your nose to spite your face.
Like my mom would say, eso lo saben a ti bonito. Right. Like that is clear as day.
Right.
Like you start doing that here in the state of Florida, it's a wrap.
Yeah.
What else do we got here besides the beach?
It's tourism.
That's it.
It's tourism.
It's tourism.
That's it, yeah.
It's bad enough that we can't get our own people into the seats. Why are these people making so much noise?
Right. We're having Migas in Broward County.
Well,
yes.
I can guarantee you 1,000,000 times that the moments I've been here have never heard this much noise in my life. Anyways.
It's like, you're recording? Take out all the pots and pans. They're going to celebrate the Panthers win right now.
I love Migas. Who am I kidding? I just want to say that I just feel like, it's hard enough to get our people to come watch a show. It's hard enough for us to sell out a night. Yeah. It's just hard because
we've both experienced this personally.
Because of the culture.
Yeah.
Because
there's also a lot to do.
Yeah, it's theater for some reason in Miami. It's like this idea that if you're not white and rich, you can't go or you can't afford it or blah 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 blah, right? And I'm guessing the same thing happens with sports. I don't know. And to hear for the guy in charge to be like, we don't need this, we don't need that, we don't need this, we don't need that. It's sad. It's sad. It's like, to me, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, I have a solution. I'm more of an emotional. I react emotionally. Mm-hmm. I mean, it is what it is. I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry at the same time. Right. I feel terrible that he's doing that.
Right.
I don't think it's fair. I think that I always feel like it's like a slippery slope. Like, if you're going to do that for arts, is that going to happen for like science and medicine
education
and education? The rumor is that if Donald Trump is president, they're going to get rid of the whole school board. Like, what's it called? The Department of Education. Like, they're just going to...
What are they going to replace it with? Amway salespeople with Betsy DeVos?
I have no idea. And those are things like, okay, but then where is our money going to?
It's not going to lower our property taxes. It's not going to lower our insurance for homes.
Are you going to go build like a little army over here off of the Keys?
Oh, he is.
Like, what are you doing? Because everybody knows what you're doing over there.
Right.
It's just, I don't know. It makes me sad. Doesn't it make you sad? I know you want like a
concrete... It makes me angry.
If you're listening to this and you're like, I want a concrete answer. My concrete answer is, the shit is sad.
It's sad.
It depresses
it's frustrating. Me. It's annoying. It's angering. And here's what I say in terms of a solution. I don't know that I have one necessarily, but what I will say is, with regard to the funding, the budget being slashed, I know that goes to a lot of people. Like, I know that, for instance, Adrian Arsh Center receives funding from them and things like that. What I would suggest to any of our listeners who are tied to these organizations is maybe it already exists, you guys form like some type of group or coalition, like the people, like all these organizations, like, that get this funding.
Sure.
And sort of amongst each other say, you know what, the Arsh doesn't need the money, we're fine because we've got the Broadway stuff that comes in and gives us money, so we're going to take ourselves out of the grant application process. Again, maybe it's that, right? Like, figuring out who's not in dire straits, where it's like, if we don't get that money, we will not survive, and let the smaller guys who depend on that for their livelihood to have a bigger shot at getting maybe a little bit more money.
What really is sad about this,
and it's sad that I'm putting the onus on the people who are needing the money in general, but I think fuck it, you got sálvase quien pueda, right? Like, you gotta
exactly. I don't know, man. I don't know, Ish.
Yeah,
I don't know.
And it's more frustrating because, okay, like you said, yes, this money is now being saved 100%.
Where's it going?
Right.
What are you doing with that money?
What are you doing with that money?
Or like what?
Okay, so now you got to give me something for that money.
but they're not going to.
Right.
As a creative right now, what I find myself in the middle of is like there's not enough creative jobs here in Miami.
Not enough jobs, but yeah.
And then, well, yes, obviously, but like I'm a creative, so I'm like, okay, what am I gonna do? How am I gonna do this? And I keep getting hired out of state, and all my
remote
work is remote, and people are like, yeah, you have a great resume, come work with us. And luckily slate.com saw that, AURN saw that, but man, wouldn't it be great if somebody in Miami, you know what I mean?
If we could do it in-house.
If we could do it in-house, but nope.
But no. Why? No. But why would we?
I had this conversation just this week with comedian Brittany Brave.
Love her.
She's a great
had her
girl.
on the show. She hasn't aired yet, but we had her on the show.
She's like, she goes, she's pissed. She's like, I'm mad, I'm angry. I'm like, what the F is going on? And they go, it's like we don't have like a director, like someone that we can be like, hey, can you guide us? Can you tell us what to do next? Like we don't have somebody kind of like pseudo in charge. And I feel like we don't have that mentor here in Miami. We don't have that person that we can be like, can we? I know my husband feels like I should be part of that.
I was going to say, I saw him do that. I'm like, I hereby nominate Lucia's tribute.
I would love to do that. I just feel that that's a big ask. I got to take care of my kids first.
That's also the definition of herding cats.
Yes, exactly. I think that we don't have, if we had someone in South Florida who stood up for like all creatives, music, art, acting, all that, and be like, hey, no, you're not getting away with that, I think things would be different.
All right, so you and I are gonna, when we're done here, we're gonna go down to Crescent Moon Studios, and we're gonna tell Gloria and Emilio what we're gonna put out.
Mom and Dad.
5-point plan for them, and we'll see what comes of it. Yeah.
Mom, Dad. Right? Imagine if it was that easy.
We need your help.
I once was so like, I'm gonna fucking go over there and knock on the door. Can I have a conversation with you, please? Who are you?
That's not important right now. I just need the conversation to happen.
I just need you to understand this right now.
Right.
Please, you gotta help us out. We're freaking out over here.
Who I am will come into play later.
Wonderful Marcello Hernandez. I love that kid. I cried the first time he was on SNL. I fucking cried. Did you? I got emotional watching that kid.
I get emotional whenever he's on there, and it is very clearly a skit that I know without knowing, but I know
that he has something to do with it.
Because the authenticity of whenever there's Latino tinged skits, that skit that he did with Ana de Armas, that it was the two Cuban kids who just transferred or whatever, I was like, if that boy didn't write 100% of it, he wrote 98.
Right.
Because that was every experience you and I probably had
and the fact that
in elementary school.
And the fact that she was okay with it.
Well, yeah.
Because,
Well. I mean, listen, I'm not going to say anything because she's Darian's like third cousin. Mm-hmm. So, I don't want to start things with the Borges family.
She is absolutely like not. Did you see the Marilyn Monroe movie?
I didn't, because everybody said it was so bad that I couldn't bring myself to watch it.
Really?
That's all I heard. That's all I heard. And I think she's a good actress. I think she was the best part of the James Bond movie that she was in.
What do you mean you didn't watch it?
I didn't watch it.
I watched it.
Okay, and?
So here's what happened. Started watching it. 8 minutes in, I got nauseous.
Why?
It was too tense for me.
Okay.
Then I watched the whole thing. I think she was wonderful in it.
No, I think she's a great actress.
She fucking knocked it out of the park. Like her acting, she's
one of these people that I don't think people appreciate.
Distracted me from the story. And the only reason why I'm saying like the whole like, I don't know, because she is like one of those actresses. Like she is like a serious actress.
Yeah.
So I was surprised that she did that Cubanita bit.
But again, I think it's different.
I was surprised, I'm not gonna lie.
But again, I think it's kind of what we're talking about in a roundabout way, which is if it had been an entire writer's room of white people who had come to her and pitched that idea,
she would have said no.
She might have said no because it wouldn't, probably the script would not have read that way.
That well. Pero Marcello.
But Marcello showed up. He's just like, oye prima, and it's just a different pitch.
I can't believe you haven't seen the Marilyn Monroe movie. I'm kind of in shock.
That's clearly what I have to do tonight. Like, I feel like I have to report back to you afterwards.
You're going to get depressed.
Oh, no, it
fucked me up.
Es que la vida de Marilyn was not good.
No. It fucked me up. It was very, like voyeuristic, very I don't know, like
I heard it was very rough.
It's incredibly rough to watch.
Yeah.
I didn't know Borges was related to her.
Yeah, so
That's pretty dope.
So her
Is it dope? Is it dope?
It's dope. It's fresh. It's Riz.
Okay, cool.
I don't know.
Okay.
I can't, you're the one with kids. I can't keep up with the slang.
No, it's Riz.
It's Riz.
It's Riz.
Yeah.
Skibbity.
So his grandfather on his mother's side is de Armas. And Darian actually did the background, like talked to his parent, and he's like, yeah, el abuelo de ella era el hermano del abuelo de Darien. So they are like related. It's not like, oh, we're all Cuban and we're related. No, they're actually related. Look, he's like, yeah, by the time that girl was born, my family had left Cuba, so I've never met her, but they're related. So we always joke, we're like, bro, can't you ask your pariente to come on the show? Like,
he's like, no.
He's like, I don't know her. I'm like, damn.
That's wild.
I don't know most of the people that I get on the show before they're here.
I had a cousin on my dad's side of the family who did a podcast and said, yeah, my cousin's Lucy Lopez. And they all said, that's not true. She's like, I swear. I
promise you, that's true.
And I'm a nobody. And I was like, okay.
You are not a nobody. Shut up.
In the big screen. In the big scheme.
Don't make me hit a guest.
If I tell you what somebody said to me last week, you would piss yourself laughing. I was being interviewed for like a project, and they were like, this would be really good for you for networking because only people in Miami know who you are. And I said, that's interesting because the podcast I'm currently on is available on Apple.
Yeah, it's national.
Apple, Spotify, and all streaming platforms. That's weird because the love and hate mail I get usually is from the middle of this country. So I guess you're right. Nobody knows who the fuck I am. I didn't say that last part.
Did they offer not to pay you in lieu of exposure?
Yeah. To which, if I tell you how much they offered me, you would shit your pants.
I hate that. I hate when they say that. It's like, it's one thing to do an interview, right? Because an interview is promotion, so fine. But don't try to be like, hey, do this for me. No. Like, you get exposure. I'm like, that's okay.
Sabaya con esa bobería.
I live in Miami. If I want exposure, I'll go lie on the beach.
Efectivamente.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm more than good. Okay, so I wanted to bring up, so now you said you get hate mail from all over the country.
Yeah.
Which, congratulations, actually. I think that's
paragraphs in one email. I had to tell, this is true story. I haven't said this to anybody.
Oh my God, this is wonderful.
You're getting the tea. Literally, my manager had to reach out to the peoples in charge and be like, so please take Lucy Lopez off of this emailing list because either she's happy or wants to dig a hole and bury herself. People who listen to podcasts are usually like at work or in their car, and some people get very inspired or very angry at what you say. Yep. And I have received hate mail that, I shit you not, is 8 to 9 paragraphs long.
I believe it.
Of how much they don't want to hear me on this podcast. And once is fine. Every other week is terrible. I was like, hi guys, I'm in a really vulnerable state right now.
Not this week, please.
Can I please not get this email anymore? Like, I don't need, if somebody needs to contact me, like, contact me directly. But you know what really upset me about that hate mail was that it was lazy. Here's what I mean. I want to give credit to the person who wrote it because it was 8 paragraphs long. What I found lazy was that you just emailed it to the show. A real hater would have found me on IG, would have sent me a DM, a voice note, a video, would have given me like some kind of promotion by creating a video. I want the effort if you're gonna hate on me, please, because I am so fucking crazy.
At Lucy Lopez on Instagram.
I'm so fucking crazy that I want you to put effort into that hate, because people put effort into the love, so why not put effort into the hate? Okay?
I love that you don't like a lazy hater.
No, don't be a lazy hater. That shit is whack to me.
Also, that's a t-shirt. Don't be a lazy hater. Yeah.
Baby, write that down. Copyright that immediately, because his wheels are turning. Don't be a lazy hater.
You know what? Te lo regalo. It's yours.
Don't be a lazy hater. It was terrible. It was. I was just like, why don't you just like find me? And now I must compare, because you have to. Right. I'm sorry. I know people don't want you to compare like situations to another situation. Back in my day, the people that would hate on me when I was on Power currently have restraining orders against them. There's about 4 of them. Yeah.
Wow.
One guy like tattooed my name on his arm with the Power 96. It was crazy. No, not you, babe.
I was gonna say, and he's here right now. They've been married for years.
And those that to me is just like, okay, where's Ryan Murphy and let's write this series.
Right.
Those are the things that I have to compare to.
Right.
Like I have 5 different restraining orders. One of them is currently still in prison. Like those are the kind of haters I appreciate.
So your 8 paragraphs isn't going to cut it.
Your 8 paragraph to me, it sucks. It sucks. It makes me sad. It's like, what?
Put more
this
effort,
is not
kids.
the kind of hating I'm used to.
If you really hated me,
you'd tattoo my name on your arm and be in TGK right now.
This is a mild crush,
But
if
no,
anything.
instead I get an 8-paragraph email from some guy in Missouri who's a software engineer.
What?
Who doesn't appreciate my parenting skills because he's white and I'm Hispanic.
Right.
And doesn't appreciate that I share my family history every time I have something to, give my opinion on.
Right.
And those are the kind of hate emails I got.
And yet he can always just turn off the podcast.
Just turn it off.
He can just turn it off.
But don't, because I love que te estoy cocinando el hígado. Love it.
Like I tell people, hate watching is hate engaging, hate comments. It still gives me numbers. So
100%
bring it. It makes me much more attractive to advertisers.
But again, like it's so eloquently said earlier in this podcast, don't be a lazy hater.
Don't be a lazy hater. Don't be a lazy hater.
Please. It's like beneath you.
It really is. I feel like you have more than that to offer, hater.
I grew up in the streets of Mamadecana.
Yeah.
And
we have expectations.
We have hard expectations.
Yeah.
Like, you know, the streets raised me.
Are you going to start ranking the haters?
Oh my gosh, that'll be so excellent.
That should be a segment on the podcast.
Ranking the haters.
Yeah. Hater rank.
We have a little segment on the Mamacita Rica, my podcast. It's called Mamacita Approved, where we just talk about stuff that you should be doing this weekend. And the list between me and Leslie is so fucking clear as day that she has no kids. And is making way more money than I am. She's like, and then you can go to this concert, and I drove all the way to Tampa to see the Red Hot Chili Peppers. And she was like, what do you recommend? What do you recommend this weekend, Lucy? And I go,
Chuck E. Cheese.
Remember that game, How Do You Meme? It's currently $6 on Amazon. Also, if you don't have Hulu, steal your friend's password and login like I did from my best friend. The Bear just dropped 10 episodes for the season 3. And she's like, that sounds fun. And I'm like, what are you suggesting? DJ Snake is going to be at Club 11 this weekend.
So get your best bottle of champagne.
It's literally 2 different women from the same city, raised with the same culture, but like on 2 different planets. And that's my favorite thing of having Leslie on the show.
And I mean, that's honestly just the best thing about being in Miami, but also I think that is one of the beauties of social media, as awful as social media can be. And I'm going to use an example. We recently posted on the Pero page a little footage of CVS.
Sure.
Okay. Going down the aisle and stopping in the one area of CVS that has like the agua florida, the candles,
the Santeria corner.
Thank you.
The Santeria corner is everything. As a matter of fact, the Santeria corner is such a big deal here in Miami that Publix now has a Santeria corner. They only had the candles at one point, and then all of a sudden
they started bringing the rest.
The Santeria corner has arrived.
Okay, so that's literally what we said. We're like, only in Miami does the CVS have a Santeria aisle or whatever, right?
Yes.
Okay. The amount of people who have replied, who have commented on, some have commented like, oh, ours too, or, oh, not in Boston, or, what, like, fine, that's great. The amount of people who have decided to take this as a cause of like, Saint candles aren't just for Santeria. Those are just candles. Those are just candles. And it's like, when
they're not.
But number 1, no, they're not. Number 2, San Lázaro and Santa Barbara are not Catholic saints.
No, they're not.
They're not saints, and check that because they're not. They're not real saints.
Don't make me call my favorite witch, one of my closest friends.
I love that you have one on speed dial.
I do, Jess.
I love it. I love it. So
yes.
That's the most Miami thing you've said today.
She's my...
And we said 305 at the beginning.
She's my witch. She is my witch.
But it just drives home to me, like, clearly we did this as a, like, tongue-in-cheek, like, haha, you're not going to find this at, like, a CVS in Connecticut, that type of thing. But people have taken it to be this, like,
Really?
Yeah, some of the comments are like, that's not Santeria, that's Catholicism. Oh, that's not right. Santeria, you need to find God. And, that's not, those are just candles. Somebody even said they were votives, which I'm this close to figuring out how to word it because I'm like, no, they're not. Votives are small. And also, you need to get your eyes checked because we scan down to show you the rest of the aisle that has the sprays and all that other stuff. But it's like, when did people lose their sense of humor, right? Like, we're very clearly being tongue-in-cheek.
Are those people from Miami, the ones who are writing those comments? Have you checked? You don't do background checks?
I do on occasion.
Am I petty?
No, I'm listen, you and I are both, we're Tom Petty and Petty LaBelle duo.
But are you like me where you're like, I'm going to do this, and then you don't do anything because you're like, I'm bored. Moving on.
I go as far as looking them up. Uh-huh. So whenever somebody puts like a shitty comment, the first thing I do is I'm like, let's see who you are. Mm-hmm. Inevitably, it's somebody who has like 2 posts, 1 friend, no profile picture. It's always somebody who's like not worth the time, right? So so those automatically disqualify themselves, right? Like at that point, I'm like, I'm not going to engage with you.
Hater.
Yeah, you're a lazy hater. I'm done with you. But then sometimes, like actually, it happened to me when we posted for Laughs in Spanish with Sandwich. I don't know if you remember the video I did where I went to Sandwich and I had several of the things and I was like, oh, no. There's a part where I'm having a Cuban sandwich and I'm like, oh, this Cuban sandwich or sandwich, blah, blah. Somebody in the comment section went and put, sorry, that's not a Cuban sandwich, that's a medianoche. To which I replied, I'm like, sorry, I know what I ordered and ate. I was like, no, you're not going to tell me what I know the difference between a fucking medianoche and a Cuban sandwich.
Qué manera de joder.
Like, yeah.
It's like, why?
So that was me being petty. That was me being like, that was me being petty. Like, no, you know what? Bitch, I'm the one who was there and put that in my mouth.
Like, I'm going to give you a very, by the way, my husband got a little platico of charcuterie for all of us.
So good. I will.
Jamón? It's protein.
It is. That's true.
This is my example.
I love how she says it. Like if they had shown up with a cake, I wouldn't have some. She's like, it's protein.
It's protein. Let me show you what kind of petty. This is my version of pettiness. I'm going to go to my
We're just comparing petty levels.
Let me go to my Instagram right now.
But it never ceases to amaze me that people are just like, look, I get sometimes you disagree with what's posted, but there's a way to do it. But like, again, what I'm saying is these are people who clearly do not get what a sense of humor is, right? Like what a joke is.
No.
To that point, I'm like, guys, y'all need to step outside your door once in a while.
I don't know if this is petty or this is just me being like graciosa, as my mom would say. But the Miami Design District posted a video of they're out here. Oh, cool! They kept my comment, and they're out here and
probably pinned it.
And they're shopping, and then this, and the Miami Design District. There's a shot of Dior and Chanel, and this. I comment because now my new thing to release the petty in me is to leave on full-on paragraph comments. So I wrote, on my way to spend all my money to later complain about it to my BFF, but then do it all over again because I never learn. Love you.
I mean, okay, that to me is so clearly you're taking the piss, right?
You're
very clearly doing it.
I love doing that.
I wonder how many people read that and thought like, ay, que pesada. Or you know what? Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's why, you know what? You never have money and that's why people
that's why we're not allowed to go there and that's why people like you shouldn't go to the things.
Right.
And, yeah. And that's just me. Like, I'm just like having fun.
Life's too short, guys.
So short.
Life is way too damn short. And
so
I think it's funny because earlier before we started recording, you guys mentioned how you had talked to your daughters. You live so many lives. I think myself included. I've had so many lives. The one takeaway out of all of them is that you're not here for a long time. You're here for a good time.
Just make the best of it.
Absolutely.
It's so much fun out here.
You got to go to work. Yeah, it sucks. Make the best of it. You gotta get your tag renewed. It sucks. Just make the best of it. Just do what you got to do in life to make the shitty moments seem less shitty.
Absolutely. But I am gonna go ahead and copyright.
Don't be a lazy hater.
Don't be a lazy hater, because that's pretty genius. That was fun.
Yes. Well, I mean, if anybody should copyright that, like that should be a Mamacita,
Mamacita Rica merch.
The Mamacita Rica
I'm trying to get the merch going.
There's an easy way to do it, by the way.
You have to share this.
I will tell you the best way to do it. The best way to do the merch. I will tell you, not because we have ours on TeePublic, but TeePublic. I mean, I'll tell you on air because I don't care. But TeePublic, you basically just upload the designs, and then you promote it. You say blah blah blah, and then people just go and they can either take the design and put it on a T-shirt, a pillow, a tote bag, a sticker, whatever they want. You don't incur the cost of that, and then they pay you X amount for every sale. It's not a lot, but I'm just saying it's less work in the long run. Also, you don't have to wind up with a bunch of like T-shirts in your garage that you're trying to hawk while you're also paying for a website to sell it on and all that. So I'm just saying it's an easy way to enter, entry level type thing.
Copyright?
You do. Yeah. It's yours. It's creator owned. Yeah. So that's my
do it.
That's my listen, laugh, and learn. That's
Thank
the
you
learn
so
part
much
today.
for that. Thank you so much for that.
Well, that's what I look. I love doing that. Number one, I love hanging out with you because I love you and I love Gino. But I just genuinely feel like, and I think you and I have had this conversation. Actually, we were having it a little earlier on this episode of like community, right? Like, dude, if I know something that can help you,
I'm gonna try to help you.
I may not know you need that help because maybe you didn't ask me, but if something pops into my head, I'll be like, hey, I know someone, or why don't you do it this way? Otherwise, why am I hoarding all this information? There's no need. I
feel the same way, and also you need to learn how to protect that energy as well.
Yeah.
You can't be too loosey-goosey.
Oh no, for sure.
With
I'm particular
with your resources.
Yeah.
You gotta figure out. It's not who deserves it, or it's not about that.
But you're not wrong.
Yeah.
You're not wrong with saying it's about not who deserves it, who's earned it.
Yes, who's earned it. Yeah. I'm going through something now this summer. There's like a few things I'm going through this summer, and one of them is I'm gonna have a celebrity summer. Here's what I mean by this. You know how like in order to get to like a big celebrity, you have to go through like 100 people?
Yeah, I know that very well. Yeah.
Right? I think I'm going to treat this summer a little bit like that. You want to get a hold of me, you must contact Leslie Montez.
Unless you're a non-lazy hater, and then just go to at Lucy Lopez on Instagram.
Yeah. You can email partnerships@thelucylopez.com. But no more the easy way.
Ya tú sabes, me jodiste el contacto. I had things I wanted to reach out to you, but I'm going to have to go through 40 people now.
Now you have to go through 1 million people.
Fine. You know what? Summer was bad enough that there's a mango shortage. Now you just made it worse.
By the way, there was never a mango shortage in my hood, and
you live in Mango Hill.
My mom literally has una mata de lychee in a patio. Oh my God, that was the best.
Did you still have it or no?
So many. Yeah, we do. Yeah. We still have like lychees frozen, but they're like great. So good. So good. So good.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Good times.
Yes. Well, all good times must come to an end.
Is this it?
So we are coming to the end of the show.
No way.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, how fun. That was fast.
I know, but we end every show with our last soda. So for those listeners who don't know, every episode we end giving a last soda of the desert.
Sure.
To some person, place, thing, whatever's making us happy, somebody who deserves it and things like that. We can also, now that this segment is not being sponsored, we can also give what we deemed a gasless soda to somebody who just kind of sucks. Or if you want to be positive, you can say you're giving them a soda because they suck and they need to lift up their mood.
Oh my gosh, look at you, a gasless.
Gasless soda. There's nothing worse than like a cup of soda that's just flat.
You're going to die right now when I tell you this.
You like flat soda.
I love an unexpected glass of flat soda to me. Has to be a surprise.
Okay.
Has to be like, this Coca-Cola is flat.
Okay, but is it any flat soda? Like if
it has to be Coca-Cola. It cannot be Pepsi.
Really? Okay.
Has to be Coca-Cola. And my cousin Natalie, she would buy the things of Coca-Cola, los litres, open it, and leave it open so all the gas could come out, and then she would drink it.
And that's how you know she loved you.
Fucking Natalie, man. She got me hooked on flat Coke. Loves it. Loves it.
So if you were to give a gasless soda, then it probably might not be a bad thing.
No, yeah. I don't want to give a gasless soda to anybody. I don't think anybody deserves a gasless soda unless you are currently in government. Like, that's it. Like that debate last night, gasless soda all day. But like, I don't want to give out gasless sodas because I feel that everybody's going through it right now.
Yeah, you want to give out positivity.
I want to give out positivity.
Right.
So I'm going to give...
You want to go first? Go ahead.
No, you go first. You go first. I'm going to think about this real hard.
All right. So my last soda is... I think I may have given a last soda to this before. I don't care. It's my show.
Go.
Right now on Max... Season 2 of My Adventures with Superman just premiered a couple weeks ago.
Are you watching it, babe?
It is so... I love it. I absolutely adore it. It gives me like Bruce Timm vibes, also Max Fleischer vibes. It's fun. It's putting a new spin on things. They introduced Supergirl recently, not in the way you think she would have been introduced. It's modern, very anime, without seeming like they just grabbed some random concept and threw Superman's costume on it.
Right.
And honestly, right now, it premieres every Sunday on Max. My ritual is literally waking up on Sunday morning now, while this is on, is waking up, having my alone time with my cup of coffee, and just for that half hour, I am in Metropolis, I am in, wherever they are, and it's just me time. And so I am loving Season 2, My Adventures with Superman. Yes. I'm in. Check it out.
I'm eating un pedazo pan. Hold on.
Yes, she's partaking of the protein and the juice. Actually, you've got like vitamin C, protein, calcium with the cheese.
I'm good.
You're good. That's it.
Good.
We got all the food groups here.
Okay, so
actually, we really do. Fruit, dairy, meat, and bread.
We're straight.
Oh, yeah.
Not really.
Yeah.
But I think that for my last Coca-Cola, I love TV. I love watching TV. I love movies, like all of it. Like I would go in on Inside Out 2 with you right now, but we don't want to cry.
Right. I haven't seen it.
So I just started watching the season 3 of The Bear on Hulu /FX, whatever.
Yeah. I think like FX on Hulu, yeah.
The first episode, I believe not one single word was uttered. And it is the most beautiful, chaotic piece of TV it is just beyond. And I know what you're thinking, Lucy, but what about House of Dragons? House of Dragons will always have a Coca-Cola fría on ice.
But it's such a different show.
But it's such a different show. And, man, I really wanted to talk about my crush on la muchachita esta de House of Dragons.
¿Cuál?
Not the green one. The other one. The black one.
Not the redhead?
Not the redhead.
Oh,
her ex-best friend.
Oh, okay.
What's her? Rhaenyra.
Oh, okay.
I have a huge crush on that girl. That shit is crazy. They are beautiful.
Oh, they're gorgeous. I've loved the redhead since her time on Bates Motel.
Yes. I knew her from somewhere. Bates Motel.
Yeah.
Okay, anyways. Last Coca-Cola is going to go to The Bear.
Good choice.
Love. I haven't finished it. They gave us 10 episodes on their third season. De un rampang, like here you go. It's so good that not that it was up for debate, no pun intended, but my husband was like, so we're not gonna watch
the debate.
Biden and Trump go at it? And I go, are you kidding me? The Bear is on. It's so good. It's so well written. The acting is beyond. It's so good-ish.
No, it's fantastic. I haven't seen season 3, but season 1 and season 2 were.
What was your favorite episode from season 2? Seven Fishes, right?
I don't know the titles of the episodes, but my favorite episode was the one where they open the restaurant.
Oh yeah.
The reason being that, again, because of Ping Pong Pollo, eventually our goal is, brick and mortar. And all I could think of when I was watching that was, oh my God, is that what it's like? Oh my God, is that what it's like?
Yes.
I genuinely felt like I was in that kitchen.
That's terrifying.
It was so terrifying. I almost stopped the pop-up entirely. I was like, I'm done. Like, no, I don't want any part of this.
Yeah. Yeah, wait until you see season 3. So good. And I fell asleep during I think the ending of episode 3 because I was like midnight. I was like, all right, out. But yeah, that's my Coca-Cola.
Absolutely. So
wait. Can I give a local Coca-Cola?
You're Lucy Lopez. You can do whatever you want.
I want to give my local Coca-Cola to everyone that listens to local podcasts.
Oh, okay. That's a good one.
Right now, local radio is going through a terrible transformation. The exit of Super Cindy from EDR was
crazy,
absolutely insane to witness. The termination of 2 of the biggest local radio legends from Hot 105? What's happening at Cox is insane. And the people who are living, who, are hold on, my phone is blowing up. I think it's my mom. Hold on, sorry. Let me see what's happening.
Or maybe it's some of those non-lazy haters.
Yeah, non-lazy hater. But thank you for supporting local podcasts.
1000%.
Thank you. I cannot thank you enough for tuning into my podcast, for tuning into Pero Let Me Tell You, for tuning into Que Bola Podcast, for tuning into
Pan Con Podcast.
Even what Josue has to say, this kid who, some of the stuff he says is wild, and some of the stuff that he says is not wild to me. Even these young up and coming, thank you. It is important for us to support local podcasters.
That's where local voices are nowadays.
Local voices are now on local podcasts. I want you to wrap your head around that right now. From Fatherhood Podcast to my these are.
Was that Daniel's podcast?
No, Fatherhood Podcast is DJ EFN's parenting podcast, but from a father's point of view. Okay. These are important shows, and I see a bunch of new ones kind of springing up into action. Whether you agree with what they have to say or not.
Right. But we need various voices.
We need various voices because we are not just, one-dimensional here in South Florida, as we all know. These podcasts are incredibly important. Yeah. Even the Dan Le Batard show, which is
that's true. That's a podcast now, too.
That is somebody local who now has this podcast who is national. Those are because Miami with Billy Corbin. All of these, thank you for listening to local podcasts. Thank you. As someone who was on the radio for close to over 25 years to now having her own podcast, to have your support as a community, it means the world to me. So, yeah, the bear gets my Coca-Cola, but at the end of the day, Miami, you will always have my last Coca-Cola.
Yes, I think maybe Miami will have your last Jupiña.
Aww.
Or mate,
No, Jupiña all day.
All right.
Oh my God, you take one swig of Jupiña, you're going to be up for days.
I know, it's wonderful.
It's so good.
For people like me who needs to be productive, fantastic.
Jupiña.
Just go. Bueno, guys, that was episode 305. Thank you. A huge thank you again to you, Lucy, for swinging by again. I had not planned it to be episode 305, but I'm glad that it was.
Yeah, I'm so happy.
And, listeners, as always, we hope you listened, laughed, and learned. And don't forget your croqueta, your pastelito, and your cafecito. And we expect that unless Darian decided to chuck the whole Pim Pam Pollo thing and open up a pasta factory in Italy, he'll be back next week. But, time will tell, I suppose. All right, guys, cuídense. Bye.
Bye.
Pero Let Me Tell You is co-hosted by Darian Borges and Ismaeliano, produced by Ismaeliano, and our theme, Pero Let Me Tell You Freestyle, is composed by Michael Angelo Lomlaplex, the official gay guy. And don't forget to subscribe and leave us a review on iTunes.